Take a seat on the swing, lemon in the sweet tea, hear the night birds sing. Got a spell in the air, got a spark in my hand. Ain't nothing but love in the lines I've planned. Oh, come on in, child, rest a while. Magic's just a whisper wrapped in a smile. Ain't no harm with a heart like glows, but what you give is what you sow. There's salt by the door and a charm on the gate. Old ways die hard, but they sure feel great. Bless your heart, but mind your step. Every little promise is a debt well kept. Oh, come on in, child, rest a while. Magic's just a whisper wrapped in a smile. Ain't no harm with a heart like glows, but what you give is what you sow. Love is truth and the roots run deep. A candle's just a flame till it starts to speak. Harm in none, do as you wish. But sugar and spice don't mean there's no risk. Cards on the table, dreams in the smoke. Every wish I grant is a word I spoke. Not a soul goes lost, not a heart denied. If you stay in the light, love will be your guide. Oh, come on in, child, rest a while. Magic's just a whisper wrapped in a smile. Ain't no harm with a heart like glows, but what you give is what you sow. Sweet as tea. The magic.
Hi, guys. Okay, I probably look a hot mess right now, and I'm sorry about that. But it be what it be. I totally forgot to uncue the music for a second there. But how is everyone? How are you all, my lovelies? I know it's been a hot minute since I've been live. Fair justification of that. Um, last week was some stuff, personal life stuff went on. Additionally, last week was also leading up to my birthday. I turned 33 on Saturday, so you know. Um, I also went to Florence the Machine on Saturday night. Solo, ended up trauma bonding with some friends. Um, I appreciate that, Spinner. Life is life, right? Um, additionally, Friday night, we had a little Beltane gathering at one of my friends' house, and we did some girls' night stuff. It also kind of served as a birthday party for me. I had some of my friends brought me gifts, which I was very grateful for. My friend JJ actually loaded me down with a ton of pickles, you guys, like a ton. And I want to be very clear, Twitch, YouTube, you're the only ones who are getting this information. I'm not repeating this on TikTok, okay? Just saying. When we get started over there. But all my friends came, celebrated me. We had catfish and boudin balls and hush puppies and french fries and an amazing potato salad in my opinion. So there you go. It was a fun, relaxing night. I ended up staying at my friend's house until 1 o'clock in the morning and then came home. Went and got my hair done. So that is why we are back to our glorious red, you guys. So I'm really happy. We have finally found that perfect Jillian Owens red. So this is the color I will be staying for the foreseeable future. But I love it. It's amazing. I'm happy with it. But yeah, this weekend was birthday weekend, so we were just chilling and having all of our fun and relaxing. So I was also Sunday exhausted because I was recouping from the Florence the Machine concert, you guys. I was literally like, Florence looked me dead in the eye, you guys, and gave me a energy transfer, okay? It was a whole thing. I'm still not fully recovered, but it's okay. Um, as usual, because this is the whole point of this is I'm still fundraising for my surgery, you guys, and I have to call this week and get it moved to July because we haven't raised enough funds yet. Um, as always, the things are over here to my right, your left. My GoFundMe link is the top QR code. My Venmo and PayPal are below. If you're on Discord, all the linkity schminkities are going to show, not Discord, if you're on Twitch, all the linkity schminkities are going to pop up as we go through for the night. If you're on YouTube, they are all down below in the description. Every donation helps. Every little bit helps so that I can afford to have my partial hysterectomy this year and not have to worry about it anymore. So, with that, I'm going to kick us off on TikTok really quick, you guys, because your girl needs to also do stuff over there because I'm a good girl. We don't want that. We want full camera. Can y'all not tell that I'm just like, we do what we gotta do? Kind of casually do it that way. I want to make sure everything looks good. Okay, we are good. Do, 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 do. Okay. Woo! Always live in all the freaking places. Ugh. But always good things, you guys. It was a good weekend. I enjoyed my birthday, and I think that was the whole point of it, is that I deeply enjoyed my birthday. And that is all I could have wanted, was to not have to plan my own birthday party, which I'm very grateful for my friend Kat. She planned it. She actually made my birthday cake, you guys, and it said witches don't age on top of it. And it was amazing, and it's delicious because it's my favorite cake. It was my favorite cake. I still have cake left over, and I've been munching on it slowly but surely. I'm like the happiest camper. Um, make sure my volume's turned down while I go grab my last share that I did, because we gotta make sure we get this all shared. What's going on? Okay, there. It is working. Boop, 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 boop. I did happen to go through my I've turned on my KitchenAid the other day, and I now have figured out your girl finally has to suck it up and send her KitchenAid to go see Mr. Mixer for some loving. He's gonna love it when it comes in because I've only talked about it. Also, you guys, I got a pretty new Oracle deck. This is the same creator of my favorite blue deck that I have. Look at the box, you guys. It's so sparkly. Look at that. It just sparkles. And I love it. One of my friends got it. It was on my birthday list, and I'm like so excited because if you've it's the same nail spinner. I have not gone to see my girl yet. Hey Antonia, welcome in. But yeah, we got a new deck. And look at that. Look how pretty that is, you guys. Look how pretty. Like I'm thorough, thoroughly obsessed with this deck. Like I love Oracle decks in general, but like you guys, the artworks on these decks just in general, James Reed does a really gorgeous job. Like look at the back of that. Like please just do me a favor, look at the back. How gorgeous is this? Um Unlike the other deck, this does not like make a giant like picture when you put all the cards together. But I love this deck. I also want the pocket version of it, but because I want a travel oracle deck that I can easily take with me places, but I gotta get this one photographed to get it put in with my Notion thing that I use for my tarot card readings and stuff like that, which I am really hoping to start doing the card of the day again. I've just been so busy, and when I'm in a funk, it's not safe to be pulling cards for other people. I have still been doing it for myself, but it is not safe for me to be pulling cards for other people because then my energy kind of warps in with that energy and it's just yeah. We don't screw around with that stuff, you guys. I'm always the kind of person who's like, we'll do what we got to do, but and that's how I feel about it. So, it'll be fine. It'll be okay. We'll all survive. It's fine. But I did get some new book goodies, you guys, and I'm really excited about this. I haven't started reading it yet, but I'm really excited about it. It's called The Convent, and it is by a local book, a local author. And the next book comes out this summer, I think. So I'm really excited about it. And then I have a few more that I'm currently reading. Kat is very happy because I have finally started Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief. Come here, Catherine. Come here. Your darling fans want to see you. Come on. Hello, everyone. Welcome in. Come here, Catherine. Come on. Come on. Nope. Come here. Come say hi to your adoring fans. Say hi. Say hi. Pretty little baby. Pretty little baby. Pretty little baby. There you go. Go up on the couch. She is a handful right now, you guys. She's upset because we didn't get to go outside like we normally do. Because unfortunately, it rained earlier. And so I'm like, I'm not taking you out in the wet. I'm not taking you out in the wet grass, ma'am. I don't want to deal with that, so I'm not going to deal with that. But she is all up in her feels about it, which means I have to listen to it. But anyways, we're just chilling tonight, you guys. I really don't have anything to work on, you guys, other than my crochet. Cause I don't want to fold laundry tonight. I don't know if anyone else feels that. Hi Dakota, how are ya? I don't know if anyone else ever feels like that, but I'm like, I don't want to do laundry. I don't want to do that stuff. So like, I'm gonna sit here and work on a project instead. So we'll just work on crochet. how is everyone's night tonight? I hope it is treating you well. It is Tuesday, so we're 2 days through the week already. We will be working on book tomorrow night. I promise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We will be working on book tomorrow night. I'm really excited to be doing that. Because last week I didn't write at all, you guys. Like the way I felt Tuesday, I just did not end up writing, which is absolutely fine. There's nothing wrong with that. We're allowed to take breaks when we need them, and that's how I feel about it. I took a break because I needed it, and we're back. What, my lady? Yeah? Yeah, mommy took a break last week. Yeah, I did. Yeah. She's gremlining so hard, you guys. Hey, Maze, how are ya? Yeah, I'm working on crochet and arguing with Catherine. I'm doing good. I celebrated my birthday this past weekend. I'm officially 33. I am an old lady. I am a crone. It is okay. I accept it. um, but went to Florence the Machine Saturday night. Um, got to see her. This is my third time seeing her live. So, saw her. Um, she um she direct eyeballed me, by the way, Maze. And straight up just like looked at me, and there was an energy transfer. It was a good energy transfer. I needed it. It was like she freaking saw that I needed something, and it was beautiful, and I loved it. So I spent Saturday night ringing in my 33rd birthday with Florence the Machine. I'm still surprised I didn't lose my voice, you guys. And I say this because, like, I have never lost my voice after a concert, ever. And I can tell you right now, I was scared I was going to lose my voice Saturday night because I didn't shut up. So CMAT opened for her. I only know one of CMAT songs, but like I was, jamming along with her. And then Florence came on at like 8:30, 8:45, something like that. And I didn't shut up, sang along with every single song because I knew every single freaking song. And I did not shut up. I sang the whole entire time, you guys. And I still swear it's a miracle that my voice did not go. Or or Hakate really, really knew I needed it and was just like, "Ma'am, have your fun. We will not let you lose your voice." But I got some really good pictures of her, you guys. Like, really good pictures of Florence on my phone. A couple of which that I'm totally planning on maybe doing posters of. Hang on one moment, Maze. Let me get this grouping done and let me get my single crochet in and I will totally bring you on. Uno momento. Hi, Elish. How are ya? Cause I'm stupid and finished and you're a disaster. I'm gonna freaking have this song stuck in my head forever now. Here, let's see if I could get my camera on. Hopefully success. Except it's probably tilted a different angle. I think this will be the post. All right, there I am. Hello, dear. I love your ears, by the way.
Working on being more myself, and I've been really liking the cat.
I like them myself. I actually kind of joked with a friend of mine because I wear my really good ones during Sunday stream when I'm gaming so that y'all don't get the echo back off of the game and stuff like that. When I've like, yeah, I try. And so I've actually made a joke that like I want to get like the cat ears that attach to the headphones because I think it'd be so cute.
Yeah, absolutely.
I actually really wish I knew someone who did 3D printing because I actually really want a witch's hat for mine because that's more on brand.
Can I show you something real quick?
Yes.
Brain. I think you'll really like.
Yeah, and I agree with that spinner. I do think cat ears would be more on brand because I am cat mom. I don't disagree with that statement. I just there's a part of me that just because I'm witchy, I would also like a witch's hat style. It's so cute. It's so cute.
Kind of like its intentional patchwork.
I love it. It's so cute.
I got that just from going to the witches market because I don't think prior to 4 years ago I even went to witch markets ever.
I am an addict and I wish we had more here in Nashville. And Lisa can tell you that I feel that way in the chat because we don't have enough. One of my favorite markets was put on by a local group who made an amazing tarot deck. They stopped doing it because they moved out of Nashville, which, granted makes total sense and stuff like that. And they've been having them where they moved to separately because one moved to LA, one moved to Florida. So they're still doing their full moon markets there. But like we just don't have a bunch here in Nashville. Now there are like we get like there is one Halloween one that I know of that we get. Um that's put on by locals, but like I'm like, y'all, we have no witchy markets that go on anymore and I need things fixed. Like we have one and it's called the Goddess Market, but my complaint about this place is that the location is in the middle of a residential area and finding parking is impossible. And I don't and you get like because they usually have them on a Sunday, they the parking is like you have locals that get really upset that we're there. So it's like, well, why do I want to be here? Why do I want to come to this if I'm going to be upsetting local people, you know?
Yeah, that's not bad.
And I'm not that kind of person.
The only other option, like okay, like there are not everything's accessible to everyone, right? Like depending what it is and where you are.
Yeah.
It forces us to lean a little bit on the online. But we can choose who we give our money to though. At
Yep.
least there is that.
There is that. I'm actually working on there's a thing I'm working on and it's kind of like Pinterest, but it's for micro influencers. I can't talk about it like in depth or TikTok might get upset about it. But I'm making a board. If you found me on Instagram Maze, you would have seen it in my links. But it's this website lets you build boards and stuff like that. So very similar to Pinterest in that aspect. And what you do is you just fill it with like um products that you use and stuff like that. So it's kind of like Shop My to a degree. And but what I love about it is that like, I don't have to just work I don't have to just put things from, like, Amazon on there. I can go in and, like, be very picky and say, "Okay, well, I want to add these oils from Aroma G's, which is our local witchy shop," you know? Like, I won't get any kickbacks off of it, but, I can share.
I think initially.
Exactly.
I'm trying to get known too, but I've also been in a recluse with my life, so that's gonna take some time.
Well, it's not just that, but it's like but here's the thing is like it lets you do small businesses. Obviously, they as a company don't work with those small businesses, so like there's not going to be like kickbacks from it and stuff like that. But like I still love being able to share it because that means that like my local shops get some love and I don't care if I get, you know, kickbacks from it. I'm like, I just want to see my small shops, continue.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah, that makes sense.
I can't shop them if they don't continue to exist.
Exactly. It's like you just gotta put stuff out there and see what works for you
Exactly.
and everybody at the other side.
Exactly. And so like I have a little board on there that's called chaos and hang on, I'll pull it up on my phone real quick. Boop 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 cuz I have the app like on my phone so I can like go look at like what my boards and stuff say and all that stuff. So I have a board that's called my Hearthside Essentials. And so the description I gave it was like all the pieces that make home feel like home, comforting, functional, and just a little bit beautiful from everyday essentials to cozy upgrades. It all lives here. And so like it's like my favorite memory foam body pillow that I have is linked on there. And it's not an expensive memory foam body pillow. I've had this thing for 3 years now, I think. I think I spent $30 on it.
It's all about finding the deals, man. This is why witchcraft is really good, I find, because when you get really good at it, shopping becomes like a real easy thing to do so long as you put your full intention into it.
Well, shopping just becomes fun at that point because, like, you're looking for the deals and stuff like that. But it's like I have different little ones where it's like I put stuff in here from my home office, like my favorite keyboard, my favorite mouse. Um, I can't live without having a desk mat. I love my crisscross comfy office chair. I love my laptop stand and all that stuff. So like there's just a bunch of different stuff that I've put in here that are just like things that I enjoy. I also created one that's called the Creators Corner and it's tools of the trade and magic, like things that I have found that I use. Like I love DaVinci Resolve for my video editing. That's what I use for that. I have like my little gimbal that I love is linked on here. My MacBook's lit on here and stuff like that. Like I just have a bunch of different things. I created one that's called the Beauty Apothecary and it has all my skincare and makeup in it.
Yeah, yeah, that's really good, especially because there's a lot of people who like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I feel myself like I use very minimal, just because I find it takes a lot of my space.
No, and that's valid. It's like that's the reason why I do what I do is like I just want to like show like hey, you guys, there are ways to like I use glamour magic on like a daily. It's like I jokingly say I never feel right if I haven't put on my lip usually during the day, but I work from home, so like there's no reason to put on my lip. But like I'll get up in the morning and make sure like, hey, I'll put on something that's comfy, cozy, and makes me feel good. And like that's the perfect glamour magic. And I laughed because there was someone who popped up on my feed the other day on Threads and they were talking about how every practitioner feels like a grifter nowadays because they all have these you know, they have these programs that you can spend money on and learn how to do all these things, and I'm like, and I have to agree with them. What happened to good old fashioned research?
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. It's up to the individual to do the research. It's not up to the person they're asking for assistance to do their research for them.
Yeah.
Do the research before even um, accessing their information, because there are some people out there that are above board, and you're going to go to them and you're like, I need help with this. They're like, you are not ready for this, for what I have to offer. You need to go to someone else first.
Yeah.
Because it's like trying to describe quantum physics to someone who doesn't know basic science.
Exactly. And that's one of the, yes, functionally illiterate is why I know Lisa. We talk about it all the time. And yes, Spinner AI is killing our brains, sadly. I agree with that as well. Like, like there's a difference between, now I did some craft work Sunday when I was talking to Lisa for like 8 hours. We had an 8 hour conversation on Sunday. And I was talking to her about it, and on Friday night, we were talking about it. I did a transmutation spell Friday night for Beltane. And we were talking about it, and I was like, well, the one that I've done didn't work well. So I was like, how would you go about it? Like, cuz we have to it's like, if something that I did didn't work, I am the only person who's used it, and I'm the only person who's used it the way that I've used it. So like I need to talk to someone else and see like, "Hey, what would you recommend instead of doing it XYZ way or whatever?" You know? And so that's where Lisa comes in handy a lot. I say it's like she'll direct me to this witchy server that we're in together and to check things out, but sometimes I tell her, I'm like, sometimes I don't know. My problem with my research is sometimes I need to talk it out with someone else first to figure out what am I exactly looking to do. Because, like, I may think, okay, this would be a better answer to the problem, craft wise. And then I talked to Lisa and she's like, yeah, no, you're going in the wrong direction with that. Try this instead. And then she directs me to, and I'm like, then I have a great search parameter for research at that point. But like, there's some things we were talking Sunday, and it was like I sent her this um video of it was a practitioner, and it's not like she, of course, she was selling her program and everything like that. But like when she was talking about it, she was saying like these are 5 things that you should be doing at least weekly, if not monthly, if not quarterly type situation. And it was like you should be doing glamour should be used daily. And I agree with her on that aspect. You know what I mean? If you have the spoons to do glamour magic daily, do it daily. It is, when I tell you it is the best way to fake your confidence and get that confidence going, it is 100% the best way to do it. This person was also like, you should be doing uncrossing spells and road opening spells at least weekly. And I'm like, we'd have havoc in the streets if I was doing the road opening spells weekly. Um, there was just a bunch of different ones. There was like 5 different ones that she recommended, and I can't remember. And Lisa's probably gonna come in the chat here in about 5 seconds and list all 5 of them out. But Lisa, you do not have to do that. I want to be very clear. I'm just picking on you because sometimes you do that. But there's just, there's so many things that like we should be like leaning into our practice and everything on a daily basis, in my opinion, because if we're not staying in tune with it and we're only using it in emergency purposes, it ain't gonna work.
No, no, because you're gonna tap that out, and they're gonna be like, stop that. Not a life saving. It's supposed to be used for you. I
Exactly. Like I mean, I do some things like Like, obviously, like, a job hunting spell is only used when you're job hunting. Like, obviously, that's not one you do on a regular basis.
Yeah, like some are situational, some are about practice, and some are occasional.
Exactly. But, like, I did a transmutation Friday night, I felt great about it. I did my first ever honey jar Sunday.
What's that?
So there's different ways that you can use it, and Lisa's can always correct me if I'm incorrect about any of this. So, a lot of people use it to, like, sweeten situations and stuff like that to make them a little bit better. Um, Manifestation ain't ish without action. Agreed, Lisa. Um, yes, people want to do the fun aesthetic ish without actually doing the work.
It doesn't work that way.
Now,
All
now
stuff.
here is the thing. I am all, as I told Lisa Sunday, if I waited for my ish to constantly be aesthetic, I'd never do spell work.
Yeah.
Like, period. I'd never do spell work. Like, end of story, would never do spell work. And so I told her, it's like, I have to, in a way, force myself to do spell work. Because if I don't, I will literally put things off until like the end of forever because I won't do it. And so, but getting back to what I was explaining, the honey jar is so you can take a sheet of paper, and what you do is you write down whatever the situation is. Here we go. Honey sweetening jars for like career money type things or those who control the money. Well, not just that. I feel like you could also use it if you're in a fight with someone to a degree to kind of like make things better, or if you're in the middle of like a relationship where, I mean, here's my thing. I don't do love workings unless it is self-love, and I feel like you could use it as a self-love spell. Almost.
Yeah, I would actually encourage it because I don't think people realize that pretending to be someone just to appease someone else is gonna disconnect you from yourself.
Oh yeah,
Not
100%.
because, but because you're perpetuating it onto yourself. And so self love needs to come first before you. I mean, doesn't mean you can't experience love outwardly. It just means you'll drain yourself way more.
Exactly. And so anyways, there's a bunch of different ways you can do it. The way that I did it was I wrote down the situation on a sheet of paper. I added my honey on top of the paper in the jar, closed it up, and I have been taking, which I've got to do it today, but I've been taking a pink candle and I've been adding different oils to the sections as I burn it. So like the first night was blessing oil to bless the spell. Last night I used the road opening oil. I don't know which one I'm going to use tonight. I might mix in a different one tonight. I don't know. And then I'm adding cinnamon to that section of the candle, lighting it and just dripping the wax on top of the jar and just letting it work. I also did oh, I remember the one, Lisa, digital protection. And so I did this one and I did kind of I found one that came up and it's semi like a transmutation spell, but it's also a protective spell at the same time. And the idea behind it is you write down your name 3 times over itself. Um Yeah, sweetening tricky or perhaps complicated relationship is what they are typically used for, the honey jars. Um, what I did with this, and like I said, I got it from a different practitioner. She wrote her, the way she described it was write whatever names it is that you're wanting protected out 3 times, and you do it in 3 different color inks. Blue for when it's spoken, or no, blue for when it's written, purple for when it's spoken, and brown for when it's thought. Something like that. Like that's the meaning of the 3 separate colors. And so you write it out 3 times, you do it clockwise. So like you'll do it the first time and then the second time it crosses over and then the third time it's below the first time that you wrote it. And take that on a sheet of paper. You can do it with a sigil. That is what this person did. But I took it and rolled it up and put it in a jar with chili flakes, a quartz. What else did we put in there? I have some Hecate oil that I put in there. Black pepper. Yeah, I knew I forgot. And then popped the cork back in, and then I burnt a little bit of black candle wax on the top of it to activate it. And that's it. And that spell jar is now good until it breaks, essentially. So, like, that thing is sitting on my altar right now. It is doing its thing, it is doing its work. And so I put my brand name down, which is Magnolias and Crystals. I put my first name down because I use my first name on some apps. I use my first and middle name on some apps. And then I also put my full name down. So, like, I covered all the bases when I did it. And I did that. There was another one I found that I'm doing as well, and it's a unblocking spell for money. And I was like, rice in witchcraft. Why did I not think about that? And so you take the rice and you put it in the bottom of your jar, and then you take a coin and put it on top, and then you're supposed to cover it with just sugar. I went a little extra because I am an extra person. And I did I put some um pyrite chips in there with the coins. I did cinnamon, alfalfa, because alfalfa is good for abundance work and stuff like that. I also put peppermint in there. So fun fact, peppermint is also a good one for that stuff. And then I covered all that with sugar. And you put this thing in a dark spot and don't touch it, don't move it. So I had to find the one thing in the apartment that I don't open, which is like this chifforobe thing I have in my second bedroom, and I stuck that sucker in there, and it's going to live there for now. This is your new home jar. You're staying here.
Yeah, I've done that with different props, but same idea.
Yeah. And it's like I tell and it's like and everyone's like, you know, you just have to find what works for you. I usually prefer spell candles. I am a spell candle girly. Oh yes, I did do that. I put cinnamon and cascarilla in the protection one as well. I have a lot of eggshell powder. I collect all my eggs, and I literally have a pickle jar, and I mean a gallon pickle jar that is halfway filled.
You gotta use them.
I use it. I use it instead of salt in my practice because it is you can basically make um black, like how you have black salt with the ash and everything like that. You can make black cascarilla powder the same way.
Okay, I see.
And the bright side about that is that so here's the thing is that I also, because I work with Hecate and she is the eater of filth, one of her many freaking titles, that titaness of her, um, she, um, because that title, I don't take them to a crossroads because I don't have a crossroads nearby that I feel comfortable taking them to, but there is a trail nearby that I will go to, and I take all of my workings that have been completed, I put them in a bag. I'll go bike over to this trail and hop off my bike, go back into the woods a little bit, and then I drop my spell remnants into the woods. And because salt is not good for the earth, I use cascarilla powder instead. It does the same thing. It literally does the exact same freaking thing. I don't know if black salt is voodoo because I have had other people recommend me using it, which is, like I said, that's the reason why I started adding it to the cascarilla powder because that just makes it easier. I will say that apparently Rocio's, which is one of our local witchy shops, they used to sell a cascarilla chalk apparently. Yeah. And I now need to look up and see if I can find the recipe for it because I don't think they do anymore. Hey Riley. I don't think they sell it anymore, but I'm like, I would love to make that because I do out in front of my front door underneath my doormat because I have concrete out front in front of my door. I will usually take oh, thank you, Riley. Um, I'll take chalk and put a protection sigil out there for the apartment. Not like my apartment's not warded to heck and back, you know, but I'll do that. And so like I think that would be nice to have that so that I can use that going forward because cascarilla powder's for protection.
Yeah, for sure. I think I use my singing bowl, and now I'm using crystals above the door frame of entry points as cleansing zones.
I use so whenever I move into a new place, my routine is the same. I still have some sage bundles that I was given years ago. And so I don't use them that often to cleanse. So therefore I only use them for moves on purpose. Like that is a thing. And so I am still using them. But what I do is when I first move in, I will ward every door with a selenite piece above it, except for like my back screen door is the only one that I don't do this to when I'm cleansing. And I go through the apartment or the space with that, and I just, do my smoke cleansing through the apartment, go through with some lavender or magnolia or Palo Santo incense after that, and kind of just bring the good energy back in after I have locked the ward. So I place that last piece of selenite over the back door. And because selenite is a self cleansing crystal, I don't have to cleanse them.
Yeah, that is so true.
It's like it is low spoons witchcraft. And that's my goal with it is like there are certain things that I don't want to have to do constantly, so therefore I find low energy ways to make them happen. And that was how I figured out to do my wards. And so there's a piece over every door, the back door and the front door because those lead out. And then there is two on every window. So I have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces running around for that. And then I sleep with a selenite tower next to my bed.
That's great.
I have very few nightmares.
That is, well, yeah, because you put your intention and the object of protection.
Yeah. I've got so I have a selenite, a lapis lazuli, a dreamy druzy amethyst, and then a rose quartz next to my bed. So all four of those kind of work congenitally together for a really good lucrative night's sleep. I actually have now the lapis I don't have a piece of, but for when I go and I travel somewhere, I actually have like a little bag of small pieces of each type of crystal, and I take them with me on trips, and I will put them under the mattress and make sure that I take them with me before I leave.
That's fun.
I will not I even travel with one of my friends, her sisters and her opened yes, the travel pack, Riley, it is a legit thing. I have a bowl. I do have a bowl like that, Lisa, that's a selenite bowl to, like, cleanse my jewelry. I had it specifically for when I was in office, so that when I was at work, if something felt off about one of my rings, I could take them off and put them in there and let them have, like, a baby recharge real fast and then pop them back on if they were bugging my fingers or my fingers were swelling that day. But, I have 2 charging plates. One is a crescent moon shape that I put my crystal rings on, and then I have a big square one that I put all the rest of my jewelry on after I've worn it, and I leave it on there for about 24 hours and then put it back up. But, one of my favorite things is that I actually have a small charging plate that I also take with me when I travel, so that when I get there, I can take my rings off and they can all have their little, "Hi, you need to recharge yourselves here, and we'll be fine." But, like, I just there it's the little things that you can find to make it your practice low maintenance for you is the best way to kinda, like, start, in my opinion.
Yeah, and then you kind of add on from there usually. Which
Exactly.
start small, it allows you to do that because you're like, instead of overwhelming yourself with all these tools, you're just like, let's just use the ones we have right now.
Yeah, and it's like, I did splurge for myself, and I have this cute little bag that I use for travel, and I really need to put my sleep crystals in it. I'm gonna go grab it real quick. But my favorite little witchy shop made this, you guys. And I absolutely love Loretta for making this. But it is a little witchy bag.
That's so cute.
And it says, "By and by we travel, hidden magic abound." So it looks like a little clutch. It just looks like a makeup clutch. And then you take and when you open it, it actually opens up fully flat.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, like, I have in here, I have a little notebook for when I'm traveling and maybe don't have my laptop with me for my tarot readings. So, if I'm out traveling and stuff like that, I have a little notebook to write down my little travel readings and stuff like that. I have a little, I have little spell candles. This is something that Laura suggested was always having a green and a white candle for when you travel. And then I still have to get the Aphrodite one, but I have my little bandana altar cloths that Loretta also made. So we have Sephi's altar cloth.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And then and all it says is and all it says around it is goddess of spring, guide me to embrace duality and independence, to live in the light, never fearing the shadows. Persephone, draw near and protect the space. And it's basically like that. And I have the big versions of this too, because they're like blankets slash towels. So I have the big versions, but I use those for like here. Um I kind of want to like press her to like, I want to ask her, I'm like, I know you said you're open to like different ideas and different pantheons. Could we get a Loki one? Like, I don't know if he talked to you and let you make one, but like, I need a Loki something. And so like I said, I also have Hekate's, which I freaking love hers. It's my favorite. She's my main queen. So of course I love hers. Like, it's gorgeous. It's got the garlic, the snake, the key, the wolves, and then her little fire at the bottom. So I take these with me, and like I said, I still need to get the Aphrodite one, which maybe that'll be a late birthday present to myself, and I'll order it. But but I love these because like I get to take them with me on these trips, and I could even wear these to Vail if I wanted to because they're bandanas. So I have those, and then I have a little goddess poppet that I made. I know. And then so I have the big version of this deck, but I have the tiny version for travel. And then I also have in here specific crystals, not my sleep crystals, but Taurus style crystals. So okay, rephrase. I have this one in here because this is Catherine's crystal. And so this is my way of like taking her with me when I can't take her with me. And it's a coffee moonstone that is in her like exact colors. And then I have a little howlite. I think this is adventuring.
Yeah, it looks to be.
And then there's a no, I think this is rose quartz. It's just a really faded rose quartz. And then I have another little rose quartz that has a rune on it that I got from a bath bomb from Witch Baby Soap. So like this thing is a legitimate Mary Poppins bag. It really is. And it also, I think I also have oh, this was another thing because this came from Witch House and I loved it. But the crystal sets came with these little cards, and it says, "I have everything I need to nourish my soul and to create space for my inner child to heal." Yeah. So it's a cute little bag. The only thing I ever have to do is remember to actually pack an ink pen with me when I go on trips is the only thing that I fail to do half the time. But like it just folds right back up. You zip that sucker right back up. And it's the best little thing. Like I absolutely love this bag. Like it was worth I got it on a sale, to be brutally honest. Um and I love it. And the inside's purple, of course. Like the only thing that would have made it better is I think it'd be cool if she had these engraved. But, beggars can't be choosers. I love this bag. I take it on every trip with me. It gets stuck into my bag. Um my friend Sharon, when I took it on my last trip where I flew and I was trying to get it to go in my carry-on, she was like, "Can you live without this?" And I said, "No, it is my travel altar. Leave me alone."
Exactly. Don't mess with the witch's spoon.
And she's a witch, so like she gets it. She's just like, "Trula, you're trying to fit all this in your suitcase." And I'm like, "Just give me a minute. I have to play Tetris. Give me 5 minutes. I'll figure out how to make it fit in here." And I did figure out how to make it fit in there. I did have to end up like taking some stuff out, but that's okay. But like I said, I love Loretta. She's amazing. She does all like I said, she does some amazing stuff. I love the spell spaces. Like I said, I need to, and I'm checking the website right now. No. No. Don't tell me it was discontinued and I didn't know about it. I'm going to cry. Oh no, there it is. I found it. And it is not sold out. Thank goodness.
I'm actually, for once, actually all like hooked up. So like, I don't need things for like a while because I accidentally got way too much of the things.
See, I still need to like invest in. There's some stuff that I like definitely like need to invest in that I haven't invested in. And it's like we can go to Cosmic Connections, Lisa. I'll come steal you if you need me to. We can go to Cosmic Connections. I haven't been in a hot minute. Ooh, Riley, what is the exciting news? What is the exciting news, my love?
Give up the.
Give up the goods.
It's been crazy.
I'm gonna grab my drink while we wait.
Cray cray everywhere.
It has been cray cray everywhere. My little birthday present to myself, my new Stanley knockoff cup.
Nice.
Riley, do you remember what we were like in high school? It could be worse now. I don't know about you. I know I was a good kid in high school, but dang, I remember the kids I was around. Okay, so smaller class size. Okay, then I have less to worry about with you then. Good.
And you can have conversations with them too.
Yep. Spinner, yeah, I know. I didn't have anything. I'm actually, you guys, I'm out of Coca-Colas. That never happens. I'm out of Coca-Colas, so I am drinking Gatorade right now.
I hate when I run out of something, especially if it's like a safe food or a safe drink or whatever.
Well, okay, so for me, it's not that Cokes are like necessarily not they're not my safe drink necessarily. It's just that I have to have my caffeine, and tea does not do it for me, and I don't like coffee. I don't like the taste of coffee. I can doctor it a million times and it's still not going to taste good to me. So, but I do have Pepsi in the fridge. Like I have a 2-liter Pepsi in the fridge still, so like I'm fine. But the credit card statement doesn't shut down until midnight tonight. So like I can't go pick up things cuz I've already hit budget. So my plan is Friday evening I'm going to go fill up my car, go do grocery shopping cuz I need to get groceries. And then Saturday Cat's coming over. She's going to spend the night Friday night. Saturday morning, we're gonna get up, go drop my car off for an oil change. I'm gonna get my nails done, go pick up my car from oil change, and we're going to Ren Fair. Yeah. Yes. I haven't been to Ren Fair since that's just Saturday, Riley. That's just Saturday. Sunday is stream day, and honestly, you guys, we're gonna finish um The Last of Us. So we'll have finished The Last of Us on Sunday. And I don't know what game to play next because I don't have part 2 yet. Yet being the operative word there. If I can find a used copy that's in good condition at a GameStop, we'll play it. We'll pick up with it. But yes, the other option is we may start God of War on Sunday for a palate cleanser. I haven't played it yet. But all of my friends have told me because I loved Assassin's Creed Valhalla so much that I will love it.
I'm not gonna spoil it for you. I'm just gonna say it's a good game.
I know, I've heard so many good things about it, and as someone who works with Loki, like, he's like, "Why we wait this long? Why you wait this long?" And I'm like, "Because you're a trickster at every freaking iteration. Do you think I'm gonna trust you?"
Yeah, but he's also smart and he knows shit. So
Honey, that's why I love him. And here's the funny thing is that we joke about this all the time. That he oh, this also reminds me I need to get that ordered too. I keep forgetting there's a bunch of stuff from Laura that I've been meaning to order. And then I remember when I see it. So I ordered the Practical Magic purse from her last year, and it's the house. Like it's a purse in the shape of the house. And so she hand sews these little poppets, but she decided to make them into like Labubus or like Labubu-esque. Look at these things.
Aw, I
It's
can't
It's a they're pocket poppet pals is what she has named them, and this is the protection one. And I kept saying, I need this one for my practical magic purse because I'm like I need like when I carry well not just for the practical magic purse. I want it in general because a protection poppet is a protection poppet. And but it has like a little pocket on the backside of it so you can put in petitions or you can put in crystals and stuff like that. I know, and she's planning on I don't know if she's still planning on it yet, but she was talking about doing all the different ones that she's made. So, like, there's a lavender one that she's made before, there's a luck one that she's made before that's green. I can't remember what the lavender one was, but, like, she's made a bunch of different ones, and I'm like, I will buy this instead of a Labubu.
Right?
This is my Labubu. Her description of this even says, "Move over, Labubu. We've got La Woo Woo." Poppet Pocket Poppet Pals are designed to mimic my own handmade poppet pattern and style. These little plushies pack a powerful magic punch. Attach them to your purse, keys, or backpack. It's the perfect functional witchy accessory. Um, Use the black mini zip pocket to hold your spells, talismans, incantation, hexes, crystals, sigils, plus more. Plus, they'll never tell your secrets. Hey, Misfit. Um, so yeah, it's super cute. They're $32, but like, look, I can't help myself. I love Laura. If we did not have Loretta, I'd probably cry. She's done a lot of these cool pins, and I'm hoping the Little Witch hat pin better come back in stock. But I have a t-shirt that already has the practical magic saying my blood, your blood, our blood, but she has a pin of it, and I want the pin.
Hey.
Hey guys. I have already done that. We're good. I have done the thing. Shush. It got mad. It's like, we have detected an activity during your current live. Complete the verification to continue your live. Um, Please explain to me how we're being inactive by talking. I also forget, you guys, my favorite thing about her because she did practical magic pins. If you've seen practical magic, you know what this is. The whipped cream pentagram.
I work a lot more with nature and dragon things, so sometimes I'll pick stuff up like feathers, pieces of bark, ash. So I use more earthy elements.
Yeah.
The idea of having spell kits, and I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with that. If I want to make my own or if I want to get others. So it's definitely good to know all these places that I could go check out.
Okay, I found the pins of the lavender pocket puppet pals thing, and it was intuition. The lavender one was intuition.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. She did a set of cameos for Sally and Jillian, and then she did one for the aunts, and I have all four of them because I have a problem. Not really. I already have my Midnight Margarita Coven pin, and then I have the chocolate cake for breakfast pin. But I know she said she was retiring some of them, but I know if it's not I know if it's not in I know if it's only in the sales section that means it's like going. Like the chocolate cake for breakfast is going. She has a witches are real snake pin. Um Like anything that's in the, as I say, is in the sales section, it's not coming back. That's exactly how she explained it. So it's like, I'm so happy all of my favorites are not going bye-bye, which means they're gonna be brought back and we're fine and I don't have to panic. I'm picky. Laura, her stuff is probably the only ones that like I shop on a regular, so I enjoy them. The one thing that I haven't ordered yet and I need to order it is she made a Owen Sisters B&B Misfit. It's in my Discord server. Um if you go over there, I'm pretty sure I put it in there. Hang on. Oh, it's not. Okay, I now need to fix that problem. Literally, I love Loretta. I've been following her for like since pandemic. I want to say I've been following her like since the pandemic, and that's how I found out about her shop. And it is still like my favorite shop. Like, no lie.
Well, I guess you found the right place.
Now, if I can only find an apothecary that I like,
That's tough.
it's
I have to
hard. Cause like,
because it's the only way to get it. So there's only so much you can get in person. Like I got most of my stuff local to the
mm-hmm.
best of my ability. I just had to do a bit of research as to which places sold what.
Yeah. There's some stuff. There's a lot of stuff that I want that like you just can't get.
There are ways. There are ways. You just have to go into like the what I call like the holes in the ground. But you have to come prepared to those places because they're a bit grungy.
Well, some of the stuff that I would like to have, I really want a belladonna plant.
You misfit mom. I don't have that luxury.
See, I really want a belladonna plant, but guess what? It's considered a, yeah, I can't have that.
No, no, it's not that easy. You can get like the capsules
Yeah, yeah,
at Walmart.
yeah. No, I want a plant. I want a plant because they're pretty. Um, but no, there's one that I follow here on TikTok, like Sea Grape a Skyclad Apothecary or something like that. And they're a refill store.
Right.
And you can order as much as you need. So like there's not a limit. But like my problem is that I have one shelf, one bookshelf that I use for this specifically, and it's not enough space for all the herbs. Cause like I don't just have all my herbs on there, I have all my oils on there and stuff like that. Like I really need I need some different like options as far as it all goes. And I haven't necessarily found like all the options that I could use, if that makes sense. Like, I would love to have like an apothecary like cabinet and be able to put like at least the herbs in it. But I'm slowly growing it and I really only get the things that like I use on a regular basis right now. So like alfalfa, peppermint, I have nettle, I have cinnamon. I'm always going to have cinnamon around because it's also good to sprinkle on top of your plants to keep the bugs out of them and stuff like that. So I always have cinnamon and cinnamon sticks. And there's just some that I'll always have around like lavender and stuff like that just because it's good to have. Hi President Pleakley. it's just good to have those things around and stuff like that. So, like, those I always have on hand, but, like, I don't really I need to have more. I just haven't gotten more. And it's mainly because of the space that it will take up.
Yeah, yeah. You just would have to figure out how you're gonna set that up.
Thanks, Riley.
I'm sure you'll figure it out.
Eventually I will. I love the bookshelf that I use though, because it's like an antique Jenny Lind bookshelf. And it's beautiful. It's just I also just need to come up with better storage solutions than what I have.
Yeah, I remember building this space. It took me so long because I was like, I don't know how this is gonna look. I haven't really decorated spaces very much.
I love I love decorating, and I'm really excited because my friend Britt, who hosted the party Friday night for my birthday, she actually, her and I were talking about it. Is like Lisa and I were, Lisa was also talking to her about this, but it's like I aspire to have my house be as comfy cozy. Like my house is comfy cozy, but she has gone to so many estate sales and stuff like that to get so many cool things for her house. Like when you walk in, it's like you know a witch lives here.
Of course.
Like like literally that is the instantaneous energy that you feel. Like the minute even if you didn't feel the energy, if you saw it, you knew. You know. You just know. And so I told her, I was like, so when are we going antiquing and going to the estate sales and stuff together, because your girl needs to like really start curating some stuff, because like I'm working on turning my bedroom into a witchy oasis is what I say. And so I have behind my bed on an industrial curtain rod. So like it looks like a pipe curtain rod. Um it is a curtain I made out of extra wide fabric that I found, and it is like a black and white Milky Way situation. It's gorgeous. And on either side of the bed, currently I have sea life posters that were my aunt's. But I actually want to replace those with one of Florence from Florence the Machine and one of Stevie on the other side. So I'm thinking about I took some really good shots of her of Florence Saturday night at the concert. And so I'm trying to decide which one I'm going to use. Um this one is the first contender.
Okay.
Second one is this one, which I'm really leaning more towards this one to be honest. Yeah.
Okay.
And then the last option,
Make it my own. I got a skeleton, painted it multicolored, and then it's just hanging out behind closed curtains on the window of the door.
the other option is this one.
Oh my gosh, if you could get that one, that'd be so cool.
I know. I've got to see if I can get them. If they're high quality enough to like have them be printed as posters, this is the another option.
Yeah.
But so I'm gonna get one of those. I'm gonna get a poster of her done. I'm gonna get another poster of Stevie done for either side of the bed. And then I already have two portraits of the Practical Magic house that a creator here on TikTok did. Um and one's in daylight, one's at night, and on the night shot, if you use a magnifying glass and you look at the kitchen, you can actually see their shadows in the kitchen doing midnight margaritas. And it's my favorite.
That's so great.
It's my favorite little portraits, and so they're kinda off to the side, and then I have a dresser that currently has a whale photo over it that I'm gonna invest in the Practical Magic movie poster frame it and hang it there. And I want to do on the wall opposite from where it sits. I have this gigantic peacock chair that was my aunt's, and I want to take it and I want to do around it behind it. Actually have been talking about this, and I actually think I'm going to finally do it if I start working on this gallery wall that I want to do. But I'm going to take the closet door off the hinges because I don't ever shut it. It's always open. So I want to take it off the hinges, leave it up, and part of me wants to turn it into a secondary filming space. But since I got the new couch, I don't have to do that anymore, but I could if I wanted to. I want to do really, really pretty witchy collage behind on that wall. Like, just start. I've got a bunch of artwork I've been purchasing. Like, I hoard it until I have space or I figure out what I want to do with it. And so my thought process is to just get as much witchy artwork as I can and just basically make the wall nothing but artwork. The other option is to hold off on that idea and get a flexible curtain track,
Okay.
attach it to the ceiling, and get floor to ceiling burgundy velvet curtains
Wow.
to hang behind the chair.
Oh, that's nice.
But see, that's what I'm saying. Like, it can function as a secondary filming space for me. Is my thought process on it. Is like I can the way my bedroom is set up, I can very easily like put a table down. I have like a little table that I use anyways. I can put that down, set up the camera, I can set up everything there, and I can film from there and or do lives from there. Like, I think that would be a really cool live, to be brutally honest, for like tarot readings and stuff like that. I'd have to get another table to like sit the cards and stuff out on, but like I don't mind purchasing another small like TV dinner table for that. Like, it's not that bad of an expense. But I just haven't decided what I want to do yet, just because I like both ideas. And my other thought is you can still get the curtains and just go through the process of hanging them up every time, or you make the track long enough to go over your closet door, and when you're not using the curtains behind the chair, you just push them over in front of the closet door.
That's really innovative of you.
I come up with solutions to my own problems and then I never implement them.
Well, you got implant. Oh,
Well, it's a slow start. I want to do the posters first because once those posters are done, that wall is finished. There is no more touching it. It's done. I don't have to think about it. And once I get the practical magic poster, that wall becomes complete. It's done. I don't have to think about it. It's just I also don't have one version of my aesthetic is also the problem.
oh, it's your aesthetic. There's no type of aesthetic. There's yours or not yours.
But no, what I mean like is like you have like witches who like they are always going to be dark. They are always going to be dark. Like that is their thing. Okay? I dabble in both ends. I can't be dark all the time, but I can't be light all the time. Like I'm one of those that like I chameleon myself through the spectrum essentially of like, oh, is she a good witch or a bad witch?
Oh, oh yeah, no. I'm more of a chaotic neutral, so I just am.
I'm not even that. I'm not chaotic neutral. I think even Lisa would say that. I am not chaotic neutral.
What do you feel like you are?
I describe myself as an eclectic witch, period. I do not prescribe to the idea that hexing is a bad thing. I think some people need it. Hang on a second. Hey Google, turn on the living room lights. Sorry if I activated anyone's Google. But like I say I'm chaos. I will at least say I am chaotic. But it is not like I'm not neutral because I'm gonna screw some stuff up, you guys. Like,
No, neutral is not about not screwing up. It's just the way you approach things. You don't approach things on either spectrum, so you're neutral.
oh no. Oh no. I approach things on both ends of the spectrum always.
Um, but you do your protections around that, right? Because that's a bit of a swing, isn't it?
It is a bit of a swing. I do a lot of protection work, and I think that's also it's like I think that's the reason why I work with the four deities I work with because I work with Hecate first and foremost. Like she's always been with me since I was like 7 years old. Like always been with me. She's just kind of been waiting for me to figure it the F out. And then I also work with Persephone. I work with Aphrodite. So we got the three big ladies. We got a Titan and two goddesses. And then we have Loki.
So yeah, you're pretty well equipped then.
Yeah. So like even if I don't as I say, if I forget to set my protections for something, it's fine. It's fine. I'm not going to burn the house down. It's fine.
Right.
Like
Figure it out later.
yeah, we'll figure it out later. If something bounces back on me, I pretty much know when it happens and I know exactly what to do when I do that when that happens. But to be honest, 98% of the time, nothing bounces back. Like nothing. Like I'm blessed in that aspect because of how well I guess my thing is that when I do darker craft, and that's what I'll say, when I do darker craft, it is usually after I have talked the situation over a million times with different people and ensured, hey, am I valid in the way I'm feeling?
Right.
And so from there, if I know that I don't want to say vindicated, but like if I know I'm not in necessarily a wrong state of mind for it, which is another thing. Do not do your spell work when you're heated, people. Lessons learned. Don't do that. Because when you're heated,
And if you're calm.
exactly. And that I think that's the reason why I don't have as much spell blowback. Like if I do darker workings and stuff like that, is because I go into it with a calm level head. I am focusing on the intentions behind that dark working. I'm not I'm not going into it with like, you know, guns half cocked the whole 9 yards. Like we're going into this solidly, we're building the intention into it. We're making sure that you know, as we say, it's like words are magic. Lisa reminds me this all the time. And as she always also reminds me, be specific with your asks to the universe. Do not go do not go in and say like for instance, I I want to quit my job. Like the universe is going to take that in a very literal sense of pushing you into the no choice and you're going to be screwed. You know? Like you have to be specific of how you're using the verbiage. And so I think that's the reason why that like I don't have blowback like you would like most witches say like I've had blowback from doing hexes and stuff like that. I'm like did you do it when you were pissed off about it, or did you do it when you were calm and had your right wits about you? Because here's the thing. You can you can still be angry about it, but the idea is to do the working when you're calm and level-headed, because guess what? Calmer, cooler, level heads prevail no matter what you're doing. And if you're not setting that intention correctly in your practice when you're doing these things, it's not going to be successful.
No, because you're not thinking it through, essentially.
No, your energies. Exactly. And as much as emotions play into it, and that's another thing that I will say. It's like, hang on, Lisa, hang on. Lisa wants to join us. She's like, I'm sick of chatting in the chat. I'm going to come be on camera.
Do it this way. That's why I did it, because I'm not a fast typer.
You're also crocheting, so like in your defense, it's hard to type and crochet at the same time.
I mean, I can type pretty fast, but I don't have enough space.
It's only 150 characters.
What I was gonna say though is, I feel like a reason why people get blowback isn't so much as that they are doing things when they're in their feels. I feel like they get blowback because they don't take into account who they're trying to hex or cover. And there is especially if they are legitimate practitioners, they're going to have protections in place that will bounce back anything that people put on them. And I feel like the problem is you have a lot of practitioners who will try to go based off of, IG witches, TikTok witches, whatever. Like, oh yeah, you could just do this. And it's like, honey, a lot of what you're seeing isn't real. Yeah. And you're trying to go about this and you're trying to utilize what people are telling you that you don't know, that you can't validate, and as well against people that you don't know what they are in their practice. And then on the flip side to that, I'm a firm believer in the only way that a spell is truly going to be effective for you is if you modify that spell for yourself. Because if you just take it as writ that someone else did, they wrote that spell for themselves. And so I feel like that the blowback that happens is consequences that people that are unintended, either because of inexperience or just because they don't really know who they're fucking with, if we're being honest.
Yeah. Like
Right.
listen to the crones.
Power protection.
Listen to the crones, ladies and gents. Listen to the crones.
Yeah, crowns are the ones that people least like, but they're the wisest.
Well, and a lot of the time it's because they cut through the bull. You know what I mean? Like they're gonna cut straight through and they're gonna be like, okay, cool, that's what you want to do, and they challenge that as well, because you can walk in like Trula could have turned around to me a couple weeks ago and been like, I want to do a hex for XYZ, and I'd be like, okay, you have to be prepared for the repercussions of that in the event that this other person has any sort of protection. Because even if, and this is where people get messed up, in my opinion, even if that person is not a practitioner in whatever type of craft that you work, even if someone is religious of their own right, they can still be protected.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you are working with someone, or if you're trying to work against someone who's Christian, who's Hindu, who's Jewish, any of these things, people forget that Lilith is a Jewish goddess.
Mm-hmm.
Do you really want to fuck with Lilith?
Look, of all the different goddesses and everything that exists in the freaking pantheons, like, to be brutally honest, the only one I'm scared of is Lilith. Period. End of story. Ooh.
There's others to be
with her. She's not as bad once you work with her, I find. But you have to work with her in a way that works for both of you.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the same thing with Hecate.
interested in Lilith. I've never been called to Lilith. I probably never will, because I was also raised Catholic. Hey, Sam.
I'm raised Catholic too. I just believe a lot in her energy because she pushed back. She was the one that pushed back.
Oh no, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I am interested in her because of a lot of things that I've learned just in my research. Because, like I said earlier, like I research everything. And so I've learned a lot of things about her. So I'm interested in her, but I've not felt any call to her. However,
You're gonna be called to whoever you need assistance from, right?
or ancestrally or what have you. But however, the Morrigan came knocking quite violently on my door. And so
Every time you tell the story, it makes me laugh. I know. I just love it because it makes me laugh. Okay.
Oh no, I mean it terrified the shit out of me when it first happened, but it took me about a year before I even was like, okay, yeah, this is it. Because I am a vulnerable person first. And so for me to be like, okay, yeah, no, this is real. It took me a lot of research, and like I did a lot of divination and all that stuff. And that deck at all. It's got a lot of like kind of like rough, sketchy looking kind of drawings.
Oh.
The Hierophant card in particular in that deck is a raven with a key.
Oh,
And so I went, yes.
If I can find it.
Yes, that deck exactly. It's the one that you've got. That's my favorite one. That's my primary deck that you're talking about right there. So I asked, which deity was calling to me, and I got the Hierophant. And so I read more intuitively than I necessarily do based on the actual meanings of the card per se. And so that kind of jumped out at me because when I pulled it, I was like, a raven and a key, like you can't really deny that. And then I basically said, like, okay, I am willing to accept this to be true, but I need you to give me a sign that I cannot ignore that will be, where I will know 100% that you are answering. Are you still looking for it?
Yeah, no, it's okay. It's because I have two of them, so it's gonna take a minute.
Oh. So I was like, I need a sense I cannot ignore, that I cannot say is like, just algorithms showing me stuff, because you never know with social media and all that stuff. And so the next morning, I was letting the dog out. Yes, that one. Sure, look.
Nope. Hang on. I missed it. I missed it.
Pick it up again. She didn't see it. That one. That was.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Yeah,
Amy, get off the freaking table.
You had the lightning behind it and everything. And so that one was the one that I pulled, and I was like, okay, that's pretty clear. So the next morning, I let the dog out after I was like, okay, this is my final time I'm asking. After this, if you give me something legit, like I will never ask again. I'll know that it's for real. I stepped out my back door and I turn around, and there was a giant MFN crow behind my head sitting on the eave of my roof. Aww. And I just about pooped myself. So I was like, okay, I won't ask anymore, loud and clear, you know what I mean? Ever since then, I get fae rings in my yard. We have crows that are always around. In fact, like you can sit outside in my front porch, and there's literally like 8 or 9 crows that just hang out in my front field. Like I said, I get fae rings all the time. a million other kinds of things. But at that point, it was a year before I even was like, okay, yeah, this is a thing. And then it was another couple of years later before I accepted that Cernanos had also reached out, because a lot of that would come up in the fall. And I would have deer in my field all the time.
Oh,
And so eventually I got to the point, because, Cernanos, the stag, you know, and so eventually I was like, okay, this is very clear. So for me, it wasn't, it wasn't like a, oh, I don't know kind of thing. But because of the fact that, like, I work with these deities, and especially with like the Morrigan, her whole thing is sovereignty and protection. I mean, she's a wartime goddess and all of that stuff. So even if I didn't wear my protections, like these bracelets and this necklace and this ring, even if I didn't wear them on a regular, if someone um tried to move against me in any way,
right?
I don't have to do anything. It's going to get taken care of. You know what I mean? Like,
Exactly.
it's going to be taken care of. And somebody else doesn't necessarily know that, because I don't walk around. Like, and here's the thing that really bothers me is, you will have people who will walk around, and there'll be a banner for whatever it is that they are doing. I mean, for some people, it's just wearing a cross, which, whatever. But you have other people, you've got people who get those giant ass tattoos of crosses on themselves and everything, and they're walking around with that. But it's like, you have it on your body, but you're not actually like embodying that. And then it's usually the people that you don't expect to be the ones that are protected. So I feel like where a lot of practitioners mess up is they try to go for the obvious. Oh, they've got crosses all over, or they're wearing crystals, or they're this. And it's like, do y'all know how many people are like fair weather witches, or fair weather Christians, or fair weather whatever? And they're the ones who aren't protected, versus the people that you would never know. Like, if you just looked at me walking down the street, sure, I've got crystals on, but would you think that I would be protected in that way? Probably not.
No. But that's like, you're not. I mean, if you want to advertise it, that's your choice. You don't have to. I think there's this need to like show it off. Like,
It
hey, I'm a
irritates
real
me,
witch
because
my
at that
witch
point, right, and at that point, it's like, are you, or are you just trying to, um, are you just trying to like get in on the fad, get in on what's popular? And that's why, like, the TikTok witches and the Instagram witches really bother me. I literally follow three of them, because they're the only ones that I feel like, for me, are legitimate, that I have been able to resonate with. Not to say that there aren't others, but for me, those are the ones that,
whatever comes on your
I,
feed, right?
yeah, I mean, some of them I feel like are trash, and they're just doing whatever. Like, especially whenever you get the whole, like, if this comes across your feed, then this is for you, and it's like the same message every time. I don't feel like that those are serendipity or whatever. I feel like it's just them. It's kind of like the people who do like the cold reading when they say they're mediums, It's kind of that same feeling to me. I don't really jive with that. Because I feel like a lot of the time they're just trying to get clicks.
How do you feel about mixing witchcraft with other practices? Like, how do you feel about that?
I feel like what a person chooses to do, like, people who are like Christian witches or Jewish witches or whatever, like, it all was the same thing.
Yes.
Because you can't turn around and tell me, especially being raised Catholic, which I call that pagan light, by the way. You can't tell me, yeah. So, but you can't tell me that none of that is witchcraft. They swing around incense. They take communion, which is a blood rite.
Hey, Misfit. Welcome back.
These are things that are witchcraft at its core. They call magical spells miracles. I mean, it's the same thing. And so being raised Catholic and then kind of pivoting into this, for me, felt somewhat natural. And yeah, I mean, I was Roman Catholic as well. Yeah. So, I mean, my family was a large Irish Italian Catholic family. I mean, my mom had 9 other brothers and sisters. So, it's like I was definitely raised under that umbrella. And it bothers me whenever people will say things like, oh, well, Catholics, they don't believe in God. They believe in the Virgin Mary and this and that. And it's like, tell me you have no idea about really what your Bible talks about without telling me. Because it's like people during that era, if you want to go with exactly what was talked about, uh, they were legitimately um, going to these prophets and these apostles as the messengers of God's word and all of this. And that's who they were following. It's like, what? And so for me, I look at this and I go, y'all don't even read the book that you're throwing at me. Like, what are you talking about? So I don't really, I look at it as, I think Riley said this earlier, like, use what,
Take what you need and leave the rest.
yes, take what you need or use what you need and leave the rest because, um, otherwise, in my opinion, at that point, you're appropriating, kind of. And so it's like, obviously, I don't believe in using closed practices. There are people who believe, some people say that Judaism, as far as like being Jewish, which is a closed practice, others do not. I'm not Jewish. I don't touch base on any of that. So, I don't.
Things
But
I
there
can
are others.
resonate with. If I don't, I leave the feed.
Right.
I'm like, if I can't resonate with it,
Right.
even a little, I'll just like, I'm not touching it. Leaving it.
Well, and there are some people that I know, like one of my best friends that I met through my job. She's a Black woman, and she is very heavily drawn to like Egyptian um, ideologies. She's spiritual in that sense. She doesn't have like any one particular thing that she believes in, but she's definitely like anytime that she's drawn to something, it's usually something in an Egyptian sort of motif or ideology or something like that. And, we know that Black people in America mostly don't know where they come from. And it's very possible that she has ancestry that dates back to Egypt. We don't know. And she would have to go about finding out. I do believe, and not everybody feels this way, but I frankly believe that most of the time you are drawn to deities in which you have some sort of ancestral tie. That's my belief.
Right. Right. Um, how would that tie into any soul ties though? Because soul ties aren't bloodline. Because I kind of go to that level. I go a little deeper.
So, in soul ties, in which way are you speaking of? Because some people bring it up romantically, some people bring it up in, other. So, which way in which are you referring it to it?
Like past lives.
Okay. So, I don't think that that has anything to do with an ancestral tie. Because the idea behind that, and this is only for people who also believe in reincarnation, of which there are many who do not. I personally have, right, and I personally have always believed in reincarnation because, one, I have had an experience in which I was basically told as much, but B, I have also astral projected, which was bonkers. Don't do that unless you have control over it, because I used to do it when I didn't realize I was doing it, and I would always be exhausted. So I have since taken steps against that because I didn't realize that's what I was doing at the time. But anyway, so I do feel like that well, this is my belief. I believe that we go through different quote unquote lives, because either there is some deeper knowledge that we're trying that are this particular soul that is inhabiting our bodies is trying to learn, or a lesson in which is being learned. There are some people who believe, and this is on a deeper scale, but there are some people who believe that we are all the universe experiencing itself in corporeal form.
Right.
And so that also makes sense to a degree. So, there's that. So I think in order for people to really understand, they have to research those things. I would say that I feel like soul ties are different because soul ties to me exist because there was some sort of connection that you had with that other entity or whatever you want to call it in the past that transcends the space and time of which we understand it. And quantum physics, mind you, has proven that some of these things are actually possible. And it's been fairly recent. I mean, I think it's been within the last decade that they've proven some of these things and the facts that they believe that there's different dimensional planes in which we experience sometimes simultaneously, which is why you get deja vu. At any rate, there's so many explanations behind some of this. So having a soul tie, I feel like doesn't necessarily have anything to do with ancestry. It could, but I feel like mostly that means that there was some sort of connection or impact that that connected you or tied you to that person or that entity in a past iteration of yourself that was so strong that it transcends that time. However, twin flames is different.
Mm-hmm.
Because twin flames is actually, yes, you impact each other, but it is the like opposites attract sort of thing. Like a twin flame situation is like you're going to ruin your lives kind of thing. Like twin flames, in my opinion, has never worked out. It's always been trauma or a million things that are terrible. It kind of reminds me, Trula, of this story of like in the first Practical Magic movie with Jillian.
Jimmy and Jillian are definitely twin flames.
It 100% reminds me of that, where like that is the 100% I guess illustration of what typically happens. Now, granted, people don't always die, but my point being is very much a like Harley Quinn and Joker sort of situation. You know what I mean? And so anytime that anybody's like, "Oh my God, I found my twin flame," I'm like, you should be running as far as you can in the opposite direction. Even if it's a friendship, you need to run, sister.
I don't know. I think we all need to learn our lessons the way we need them delivered. Sometimes it's
Oh
really
no, that's no.
find a one size fits all, for everyone.
No, that is 100% true. I think what I mean by that though is the entire point, I think, of that twin flame is it's like you're seeing, I don't know, I feel like you're seeing your shadow self
Yes.
in another person. And so that is why you feel that pull, because you're seeing that shadow self, right? And when I say like run in the other direction, it's because of the fact that you are not healed enough to recognize that. And
Yeah.
and so when I'm saying you need to run, it's because you're not healed enough to recognize that that's what you are seeing. Like you are drawn to this because this is all of the things in which you can seek in comfort, because it will not call out those shadow things, because it's going to be that like tug of war, you know what I mean? And so yes, I do feel like for some people it's necessary to experience that, because otherwise you may not heal or what have you. But I feel like that, and let's just say, for instance, if we're talking about like the Practical Magic sort of situation, if Jillian had not left and Sally would have still been there, likely Sally would have been like, you are out of your mind. And she would have been the one to be able to hopefully, pull the wool out from over her eyes, kind of thing. I feel like if you encounter a twin flame and you don't have a support system, that is why you're going to crash and burn, because you can't recognize that what you're seeing is that shadow part of you in that other person. That's why it's the twin flame.
Right. Oh, so if they're not ready to see their shadow, they won't see it within the other person either.
Which is why, so here's the thing, is that shadow work is so freaking important. This is why we preach, do your freaking shadow work, because it is important.
I will say this. Keep in mind, though, that the guy who created shadow work was also very much a Christian, like, dude. Like, there's a lot surrounding him. It does not mean that his lessons are not valid.
Yeah.
But the shadow work was done under the veil in a lot of ways of like what the tenets of Christianity is. And, oh, you have to be pure to be loved. And it's not yes, but no, I guess is what I'm saying. Have some discernment when you go into shadow work, which is why I personally feel like you can use journaling and journal prompts. You don't necessarily have to buy a shadow workbook. I have a couple. There's one actually that Trula and I have kind of been doing periodically, like not like together, but sort of. Um, and so there's been some aspects that like, and I'm in therapy. Like I go to therapy, I do my shadow work. Like all of these things are part of, in my opinion, that work. And it's not like, because you mentioned like being one size fits all. It will not be one size fits all. You have to find something that's going to work for you. But like to Trula's point, it is incredibly important that you do that because, for example, Trula and Kat, the other girl that we record with, the one that's coming over to her house, they get to spend a lot of time together because their situation is very different from mine. It would be very easy for me to get upset and be like, you guys never want to be around, you never talk to me, but I am not insecure enough in them being my friends to think that just because they're spending time together doesn't mean that they don't want to be my friend.
Of course. Of course.
But it is very easy whenever you feel like you can't, and the reason I can't be around has nothing to do with them. And it has like, and it's not like, I've ever turned around and been like, hey, you guys should come here. I've never said that because I'm like, what are you gonna do at my house? It's boring as shit. But ultimately, I cannot impose upon them my insecurities or my thoughts on something, because then I'm just projecting.
Well, it's the same thing as like I said one night. I think I said this to Britt, not you. But and I may have said this to you. And so if it rings bells, just say that it rings bells. But it was like no, this was Britt. This was a conversation with Britt. We were talking about some stuff and I said, if I have issues with a jealousy situation, like I'm upset because because so and so is like, because that type of stuff also shows up in relationships. It's like my thing is that if I felt, but like if I felt irritated by something, like if I was, so I'm dating John Doe over here and he has a female friend that maybe I feel like she's prettier than I am. Maybe I feel like she's got more of a personality than I do. I'm not going to tell him to stop hanging out with her because it bugs me. Like she bugs me. I need to sit there and work on that myself, but I also need to communicate with my partner, hey, I'm having these feelings come up. This is nothing against you. I do not want you to stop being friends with Sally over here. Just understand that if I kind of go a little quiet, if I start going a little bit like, hey, I'm not having this conversation, or I'm not engaging, don't think it's a you thing. Don't think it's a her thing. It is a me thing. So it's not anything bad against you, but it's like you have to have those conversations, not just with yourself, but like making sure that the people who are there supporting you know these things.
Cutting me loose. So it was nice hanging out with you guys.
We'll have to do it again. Go, Maze. Have a good night.
No, but I definitely feel like, you know, like some things are valid. I mean, I think we've talked about that before. Like some people, like some things that people do are clearly what they are.
Yeah.
And it's not just projection, or it's not just a, because the saying goes like projection, or I'm sorry, perception becomes reality.
Yeah.
So you perceive someone as being like overly flirtatious, kind of like when Kat was talking about the mean girl situation.
Yeah.
Like it is entirely possible. I don't think that this is what happened, but just as a like, um, for example,
Yeah.
possible that she was reading her that way because that was her perception, but someone else could have been reading this girl entirely differently.
Yeah.
You have to, like, that's why I mentioned like having some sort of discernment in that, because if you don't have any kind of discernment in like, is this really like, am I feeling this because this is actually what's happening, or am I feeling this because of some other insecurity that I don't know about? Like I said, I'm not saying that that's what happened with Kat, because I don't believe that's the case, but that was just an example of like a situation in which something
Yeah.
could have.
And that's the same thing that like I'm always very like adamant about is like you cannot assume anything about anyone. Period. To assume about people makes an ass out of you and me as it goes. But it's like my biggest thing about it is that like there are moments where it's like I admit there's sometimes I'm jealous of Kat. She's out here doing all these, she's partying, she's doing all these fun things. But then at the same time, I'm like, you did that. You're already past that. You did that in college. You don't have to like be envious of it. And and it's like there's just parts of it that it's like sometimes I wish I had her audacity. Like sometimes I do.
I will say that I'm envious of the fact, like, for example, I have never truly lived alone. Like, you live alone.
Yeah.
You have experienced that. I am not saying that I want to live alone. I'm just saying I'm envious of not ever having that experience.
Yeah.
Does it mean that I would trade what I have now for that? No, of course not. It's just I've never had that experience.
Yeah.
I don't feel like that it is I don't feel like that it is wrong to be able to say, yeah, this thing is something that I wish I could have experienced. It doesn't mean I'm going to like loathe you for it.
Yeah.
Sometimes that we will take it a little too far, because you can be envious of somebody's experience, and instead of you like hating them for it, it's like, well, you know, I can learn still from their experiences, be in a healthy way, but being like, hey, as you are someone who lives alone, how did you deal with this? Or, what are your feelings on that? And so the problem is that there's just a lot of people who are very, they're immature about it.
Mhm.
That's why um that's why there's a lot of times that I will say things like, oh, they're a kid or whatever. And I'm not saying that to belittle them, but I think I've said before that I feel like until you hit 30, that you're still like a kid to me. And I'm not even 40 yet, but I feel that way because before I hit 30, I had no idea what the hell I was doing. Now, mind you, I also had children and what have you, so my life was a little bit more hectic, but still. So I look at some of this, and to me, it's like I I look at uh I look at some of the things that people do, and I'm like, oh, that's clearly a projection, just like the conversations that we were having last week about all the other things that were going on. We could see clearly that there was projection that we were, having to deal with at the time. And but like I said though, there's also quite a bit of the time where it's not projection, and it's actually like the reality of whatever's happening.
Yeah.
To be able to like stop themselves long enough to be able to say, okay, is this being, you know, in my feels or, you know, in my own head about this, or is this actually what this is? And it is hard to do. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like none of us are perfect. We all are going to make missteps and mistakes when it comes to this. But generally speaking, like if you can do that more often than not, then you're probably in a better place than most people, you know? Did you mess up something?
Yeah, because so I decided I want to try and make a market bag before Ren Fair on Saturday, so I'm making it out of this green that I have. And I did 12 in the initial. Like I made sure that I counted it twice. And then I went through and did our second row, which is supposed to be 24. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. And so, oh, I know where I messed up. I know how I messed up. It's supposed to be 1 double crochet, double crochet, 2 double crochet, 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet, and that's where I messed up.
I just saw you looking like you were counting, so.
Yes, I messed up my count. That's all. It's supposed to be like so the way it's supposed to work for the market bag is so I have my double crochet already here, and then I'm supposed to do 2 double crochet in the next one, and I did not do that correctly. So I was short by a few stitches. I may regret trying to powerhouse this out, but the bright side is that I shouldn't have to do as many rounds on the bottom because this is a thicker yarn and it widens out faster. So it should be a quick and painless situation to work on the next couple of days. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Has Amy finally settled down?
Yeah, she's laying on my legs now.
I thought so.
She always looks for something to get into.
Catherine's asleep over here in the recliner. Shocker.
Well, Poe is on the couch beside me. Amy's laying on my legs. Roger's laying on the couch over here. And I don't know where Fry is, so. Oh, he's on the couch where Poe is. So he's asleep. So you've got these two over here. You can look up real quick. You can see.
Yep. Is your
Poe
babies?
and Fry.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if I can turn my, yeah, here we go. And then I've got Roger there and Amy there.
Roger's just like, I am here. Well, I mean, it is 9:44.
Yeah, their witching hours usually around, and then they act a fool for about an hour and a half.
Catherine's above witching hour. She's asleep over here. Catherine's above witching hour. She's like, I'm over here. I'm asleep.
I am scrolling through Cosmic Connections website at the moment to figure out.
Shopping list?
Well, I do have like, I don't remember if I have any points with them. I have a little. I actually have quite a bit of points with them. Yeah, I have $8 off. Okay. So, anyway, I was looking at a couple. I was just looking through to see if there's anything that catches my eye. There's some jewelry that I saw that looks gorgeous, but I don't know if I want to drop that much money on it right now because it's like sterling silver jewelry.
Yeah.
Allergies. Anyway, like this, my labradorite ring, this ring that I wear all the time,
Yeah, your lab.
I bought it from Cosmic Connections on my birthday like 3 years ago. They had a gorgeous pendant necklace, but I don't know if I want to. I just don't know if I want to spend the money on it right now. I do need to get a cauldron, but I don't think they have ones big enough there. Technically, Mystical Heart had a decent one. I think it was like $75, and that's not too bad. That's the main thing that I'm kind of looking into getting. I've been even looking on Marketplace to see if I can find one that was like people are trying to get rid of because it's rusty or something.
Yeah. I'd come help you rehab it.
No, I mean, I know that. And plus, there's a lot of like, there are a lot of similar ways that I have to treat the black stone that would work for that anyway.
Yeah.
But my concern with a cast iron that I get on Marketplace is that I just don't know what he's done in it. And so that kind of creeps me out a little bit, but I mean obviously it can be cleansed, so it's whatever. But anyway, I haven't found one that I like enough to take the time to go get, because I mean I've seen some, mind you, and there are some that people have been selling that are massive. They're huge. And I'm like, that shit's gonna be way too heavy for me to go and get. But they even had like the entire like old stand.
Yeah.
Suspended above a fire and everything. I'm like, that's crazy. I don't need one that big.
My uncle has a bunch of the ones that we still had, and I told him, I said, one of those comes to me whenever I buy my house. And he's like, what do you mean? And I said, it comes to me. And he's like, well, what are you going to do with it? And I said, it's going, we're going to put a fire pit in the ground and put this over the fire pit. It doesn't have a fancy stand because it's meant to be a planter, but it's still cast iron. But
like I said, I want to have one like the one that's the size that you have is good. I don't even care if it's. I don't want to go like too much smaller, because then I'm kind of like, I don't know if.
But are you talking about the one that I have on the coffee table, or are you talking about the one that I cook in?
No, the coffee table.
The 4-quart.
Yeah. I know that it goes down to 2 quart, but it's like I don't know if I want to. I mean, like, would it be big enough? Probably, but I definitely don't want to go bigger than that, because that's too much.
You say that, and I'm over here like praying Lodge is gonna drop an 8-quart this fall, and I'm gonna freaking.
I mean, I tried to get one of the ones that was going around. To be honest with you, I did not like that little green bubbly lid thing. I didn't like that.
So okay, so here's the thing: is that they sell it with that lid, and then they sell it without that lid.
Oh, I know. Like, I looked on their website. I know, but I'm saying like the ones that everybody was getting at Home Goods, it all had that weird ass like bubbly lid. I didn't like that. I was like, I don't like. I wanted one because it was a great size and the price wasn't too bad. Like, that was like $65 for it or something, and it was actually a pretty good price. But I didn't like that green lid. I thought it was like tacky. I didn't really like it. And like, I like green, clearly. I mean, look at my
I know. I love green, but you still couldn't get me to like, no, that's one of those things that like I did not like, and honestly, I don't even think Sonya paid that much for it either. What?
I said I just found a bracelet you would like.
What is it?
I'll send it to you.
Okay.
Hang on a second. I will send it to you.
I'm so tempted.
Because it is also a locket bracelet.
Ooh.
Yeah, you're gonna like this. Hold on.
So I want to be honest with you. I totally want to crack this open and find out which edition it is. The one you gave me, because well, the only reason I want to crack it open is because each edition has a different creature card in it. So like mine has the frog, the psychedelic frog. And I'm curious if this is the 7th edition or not.
I mean, it's yours. You can do the first one.
I know. You missed it. I was going crazy over this. Look at the cover of the box. It sparkles.
I swear to you, it didn't say that it was already gifted it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have got it.
I swear I marked it as I already had it, and I'm sorry about that. But no, I'm gonna keep it. Hey, my thing is that I can keep it, and then if something happens to my other one, backup.
Yeah. Or it's always an option because, like you said, like Kat was kind of talking about how she was interested. You never know if that's something you can end up gifting her to.
Exactly, but we'll see. I don't want to like push her into anything is also my thing. But okay.
The whole like you have to get your first thing gifted. I don't know.
No.
But it is a good option for something like that.
Yeah. Okay. We're going to cut TikTok and Twitch off. I think we need to do that. And then let's hop on Discord. How does that sound? Okay. Bye, guys. And to my lovelies over here on YouTube and Twitch, I am sorry that you guys didn't get to see the other video that was going on TikTok. But I will see you guys tomorrow night for our writing live. And we're going to call it a night spinner. Thanks for coming and hanging out.
Step on up, take a seat on the swing. Lemon in the sweet tea, hear the night birds sing. Got a spell in the air, got a spark